give you a brief history of Marion Oaks. Marion Oaks was initially developed in 1973 by the Markle brothers, forming the Deltona Corporation. They took the name from a combination of DeLand and Daytona. They purchased 50,000 acres of land, developed 318 miles of roads, and plotted out home lots for business, hospital, school zones, greenway, and park areas, and so much more. They divided the community into 12 units. As they plotted out the home lots, they took some that were 0.18 acres up to an acre of land. They also decided on the sizes and the types of homes that they wanted to see. Initially, they began selling home lots only to retirees, and advertising was done all over the world by newspaper, in the Reader's Digest, black and white TV ads, and they even flew groups of people in from all over the world. They came to look at the community, reaching $22 million in sales, and in the 70s, that was quite a feat. Along came the recession, and sales slowed. The community was originally started with modular homes that were put in with cranes, and we have quite a history with that. Somewhere in the late 70s, they said no more to the modulars and began construction of several stucco block-style homes. Somewhere around 1984, Tony Graham purchased the Deltona Corporation and continues to operate it today. And the corporate headquarters are right here in Timberwalk. As the community grew, as well as the Association of Homeowners, Deltona decided to turn the deed restrictions over to the Marion Oaks Civic Association, incorporated in 1993. At that time, our office was located in that little closet right there in the back of the room. We are now in Building C in a 10 by 12 room with 5 volunteers. The association is made up of volunteer homeowners. All of us on the board are volunteers. We all live here in Marion Oaks. They are duly elected and paid members of the association, with elections held in November and sworn in December. Terms are 1 to 2 years. We hold monthly meetings the second Tuesday of every month. Any resident can come, but only paid members are allowed to vote on issues. I'd like to introduce you to the team at this time. On the far end, I have Peggy Jefferson. I have Mike Center. Stella Owens, and she's our extraordinary party planner, so we thank her. And on this end, I have Carmen Reyes and Nora Birch. And myself, I'm Florence Charbonneau, and I'm the president of the association. Jose, I forgot you. The man of the hour. He is our IT man, he is our videographer, he solves a lot of problems and does a lot of our social media for us. I would say he probably has a really important job. I'm sorry, Jose. Okay. And we have another volunteer that here is with us today. She is one of the ladies that work in the office, and that's Miss Lydia Reyes, and she's in the back. Oh, Gonzalez, sorry. They're both named Carmen. So we go by middle names. Membership in the association is minimal. It is voluntary. We charge $10 a year per adult over 18 per calendar year, and it's highly encouraged. Over the last several years, the association membership has grown, and we are able to do more in the community because of it. The $10 does help us do a lot of things. It keeps the deed office going, it keeps the lights on, the phone ringing, and our volunteer inspection team out and about in the community. But we're also a 501(c)(3) charitable organization, and we offer a few programs as we put up on the table, with our biggest event being bingo, and that is our major fundraiser. As you can see from the display, it goes a very long way in the community, and after the meeting, we'll be more than happy to talk to each of you about what we do for those programs and those that are not listed. Well, why do we have deed restrictions? And why are they necessary? What purpose do they serve? And how do they help the community? As you know, there was a recent House bill that wanted to do away with HOAs and deed restricted communities. And our state said, hold on, not so fast. After listening to all testimony and all the reasons, they decided unanimously that they did have a value in the state, and those values are important to all of us in our way of life. We know that they keep property values up. We know that when property values are up, it generates more taxes. Not that we like paying them, but it does. It signifies future investment in the community, in home ownership. Businesses, they keep the aesthetics, It signifies future investments in the community, in home ownership, businesses. They keep the aesthetics of the neighborhood. No one wants to live next to a home that looks like the city dump and bring property values down. Making Marion Oaks a more valuable community to live in, and those community values, safety, clean, and a place to be proud to live in. Owning a home has always been the American dream. In your welcome bag, you each received a green book. And if you would please turn to page 2, where it says setback restrictions. We have several setbacks. They have changed with land code enforcements over the years. It used to be 35 feet from the front of your property. It is now 25 with the setback rules. 15 feet on the side, and different things. We have fencing and shed requirements that we do. In a residential site and building size restrictions. When Deltona planned out the community, they even planned the size of the homes. And I have a booklet that will show you that different size lots can have different sized homes on it. The smallest home is 1,000 square foot. The largest one is over 3,500. And we do have quite a few of them here in Marion Oaks. It talks about square footage on a lot. It talks about different requirements that the builders need to pay attention to. It talks about how big a living room can be, whether the carport can be there, the garages, things like that. But we also have the express purpose of the deed restriction, is to preserve the residential character of a community. Any commercial activity conducted on a lot covered by the deed restrictions, which tends to materially destroy a residential community, is not allowed. And we have a lot of it here in Marion Oaks. And some of it is because of new residents coming in when they decide that they bought property and they can do whatever they want. We're going to go into that. No trailer, basement, or shack, tent, anything can be lived on a property, especially not if it's not been cleared off. And if they're bringing in trailers, we had to allow that in 2021 due to a bill that Governor DeSantis signed, that it now becomes like a higher tax bracket, or you have different things. The trailer is no different, so they had to allow that. Signs, all these little signs that we see around the community, those little 3x5 advertising kind for fences and the painter and this, that, and the other thing. Those things are not allowed. That's considered litter, and then when we turn them in, code enforcement fines them $50 a piece. So be very careful when you do your open house. Put them up back like an hour before your event. Make sure they come down, because if the deed office, not the deed office, but if the, the deed office team will go out on the weekend and pull those signs. If we turn them into code enforcement, it's $50 a piece. I don't want you to do that. You can't dig for oil. You can't farm mineral rights here. You can't build tunnels from one house to another. It doesn't snow here. But Deltona owns the rights to that. It's the Mineral Fair Taxing Act or something. I don't know what the whole ABC is on that. We can't do any fracking, we can't do any oil drilling, we can't do any of that, because if you found it, you're not going to be able to keep it. No animals, livestock, or poultry can be raised in Marion Oaks. We have so many people that have been told that they can do whatever they want, and now we have a plethora of chickens in here.
Yeah.
We have some roosters that seem to keep the whole neighborhood awake. But we're getting goats, and we're getting pigs, and we even had a racehorse. Somebody was on a quarter-acre lot. So, unfortunately, we had to step in. We don't want homes to become dumping grounds for trash. We are working very closely with solid waste, with the code enforcement. We have a team here in Marion Oaks. It's operated by Miguel, who does the community cleanup. In fact, they were out doing community cleanup on the main roads today. And every year we have a bulk trash pickup, and that this year is June 27th. So if we have somebody who doesn't want to go to the dump and they've got a bunch of crap in their backyard, we're encouraging them to go, because it's right here on these grounds. Tractor trailers are not allowed in any residential community anywhere in the state. So we have the deed restriction on it. But again, people are moving in, they've been told they can do whatever they want, and they're bringing their tractor trailer trucks in. It's a fighting battle that they're willing to work on. We ask that people keep their lawns nice. You know yourself that there's nothing worse than pulling up to a home to try to sell it, and the guy next door has held an encampment in his yard, and he's got trash all over the place, and he's the high grass and things like that. I've received many phone calls from many of you saying, can you get this fixed so that we can sell the home? So we work on that very quickly. Not that we're not on it anyway, but sometimes when we have a little push from you guys, and I push into the county, they seem to work a little bit faster. Wells in the community have been here for a very, very long time. Some of our outer areas are well water. Wells need to be tested yearly through the Department of Health. And as things change here in the community, the county is putting in water in all areas of the community. So who doesn't have water access right now to some of the builders or the homes, they will eventually be asked to hook up to the main water system. And if their well fails and the water is there, they have to hook into it at that time. For fences and thick sheds and bushes and things like that, that cannot obstruct the line of sight when it comes to traffic on a road. We're very cognizant of that when we go out to within the community. Our deed inspectors will tell them, you know, you've got to take and cut your bushes down. You've got to take and move the fence. You have to do this because if there's an accident, you know, we all know the kids throw balls, but if there's a fence in there and they can't see around that fence, there's going to be an accident. We want to prevent those things. We have a 10-foot easement from the edge of the tar into the property. I'm sure as realtors you all know that they can't build or put anything on that. That is county right of way. And so when we have issues with that, we are very cognizant of that and tell the residents, yes, you have to maintain this, but you don't own it, technically. So, the county is also working on many changes to drainage along the roads. They're putting in more culverts and things like that here in Marion Oaks. But the other thing is that nobody can take and alter their land without a permit. Because if your house is elevated here and the guy's house down here, if you do something to that property, that water's going to run right in. Had a case recently where the builder altered the land too much and the house was washed out from underneath because of some drainage. So, the Architectural Design Committee, that's the team of deed inspectors and the people that work in the office. We look at things. We are not going to tell anybody what color home they want to live in. Sky blue, pink with purple polka dots, as you heard me say before, may not go over with your neighbors, might not make us happy, but that's what you have chosen. So we don't say, here's a list of colors that you have to choose from. We don't do any of that. We're not an HOA. We're not going to fine you for that. But neutral, we always tell them, stick with the neutral colors, you know. There's other things in here that the committee can do and what the board directors can do. But we want to bring a family feeling to Marion Oaks. We want everybody to work together. We're not going to go tell you, gee, we're not going to go measure grass and say, hey, it's too long. You all know here in Florida, grass grows and you have to have it mowed every single day, I think. Saw our house yesterday that was beautiful, absolutely beautiful, perfectly manicured home. And this morning I went, where did that hayfield come from? So, you know, time gets in the way. But we really, really want to work with the realtors and with the community in keeping Marion Oaks a better place to live. On the commercial end of it, and I hope some of you do commercial properties, we really want to build up on the boulevard. One of our major problems has been the 484 and I-75 intersection down there. If you've never sat in traffic trying to come home, congratulations. We really, really need to build some business end on this side so it's convenient for our community. It would be nice to have a strip mall or two put in so that we can do some startup businesses, things like that. Because the residents are asking for it. They don't want to drive all the way into town. They don't like 200. They definitely do not like what 200 has become. We've all driven on it. It's not pleasant. But we really are looking for those mom and pop stores. We really want to build up on that end of the community. We do have the sections. This is the map. This is in our office, but as I told you, Marion Oaks is divided into 12 sections, and if you look at the map, it'll show you where duplexes can go, where single-family homes can go, where the business district is, the recreation sites, things like that. We'd love to have Marion Oaks Golf Course developed again. People are asking for it. They're asking for the golf. They're asking for a higher end area to have wedding banquets and parties and more value so that they can go in and have presentations and things like that. Right now, this is the only building in Marion Oaks that we have to do anything. So, and it's booked up. To get a date, we're, what, 6, 7, 8 months out? Sometimes a year, in order to get a booking date. In order for us to have this date, we booked it in December. So we were very fortunate. Somewhere there is a document that says there's no HOA, I believe, on your forms. If you can put in on the advertisement of a home that this is a deed restricted community, not leave that out, because some people come here again and they just, we have areas that it's like the Wild West out here. So I expect some of us to be chasing pigs in the next few weeks. But ask for an estoppel. An estoppel can be sent to mochadeed@gmail.com, and it's really easy. It's, hi, I need an estoppel on such and such a property at, the parcel number and the address on the home, and I will try to send it out to you within 48 to 72 hours so that you can have that. But we know this community. We know where the new roads are going. We know the areas that the power lines are, the greenway. We can tell you they're next to a greenway, so please expect bears. You are going to have bears in the backyard in Marion Oaks. And we love them. Our new high school mascot is the home of the bears. And people like to see them in the backyard. They just get a little bit afraid because they look like they're bears. They're just bears. And they're big. They don't expect them to be big. But we know where the retentions and power lines are. The school, $294 million is going into this high school. It is 1 out of 26 in the whole nation that is going to be affiliated with Nassau. So the community growth is going to be incredible. The infrastructure for that, I can see pop-up businesses, I can see startups, I can see more technology programs coming into the area, and more highly educated people doing that. And if you're a property manager, if you rent out property, if you could be so kind as to make up a list of those rental properties and bring it into the deed office so that we have a contact information. Quite often we get the property tax roll paper, which is where we do most of our work from, and it'll say some corporation in Poughkeepsie, New Jersey, but it's actually managed by a company here. So if we have a local contact, we can inform you right away that there is an issue with the property. Neighbors let us know, believe me. And so we work on those things, and if you can help us rectify a few things and get some things going, that's absolutely amazing. So, do you have any questions for us?
How much does it cost to get the estoppel letter?
It's free.
Okay.
It's actually free. We do that for you as a courtesy for helping us. On this table underneath the sign is some history. You'll be very interested to see that there is a house lot up there. There's some marketing advertising that Deltona did in the form of a VHS. There's just a lot. There's a scrapbook up there, just different things. The book up there has property where you can see the size of the home that can be built on it, and just some newspaper articles about how we've grown over the last few years. The map, please take a picture of it because it will help you see just how big Marion Oaks is. And the last table is programs that we work on here in the community. Not all of them are listed, but we do so much in the community, and we believe in giving back to our community. With that, I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for coming. Please eat. You certainly can. Here you go.
I am one of the inspectors that have to go out and face these people when they move in and get, they apply for a fence or something. I don't need that.
Yeah, you do.
Is it on? Can you hear me now? Yes. So I'm one of the inspectors that have to go out every week, and we do it 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we have to face these people that have a tractor trailer parked in their front yard. You pull up, talk to them, and they say, we don't care. My realtor said I can park anything here I want. So my answer to that is, well, you need to sue your realtor because you can't. So, it's that way every week. We have the same thing with goats, have the same thing with chickens. That, I went to a house the other day and a neighbor complained that they had a goat in their yard. So we went out to see it, knocked on his door. He said he didn't have a goat, but all of a sudden, the little baby goat came right up between his legs. So I thought, wow, you got caught on this one, bud. But it's things like that that are really killing us. And this could be a wonderful neighborhood. And I'm probably the youngest person here to live here. Not the youngest person, but lived here the least amount of time. But, it's beautiful. It's great. It's got 26,000 homes, but we only have 300 members to our association. And it's a real shame. We just don't get the word out, or they don't get the word. So help us out. Help us out as much as you can. Thanks. What do you say? By the way, we only have, for all these homes, we only have 7 inspectors. So it's a tough situation.
Hi everyone. I would like to thank everyone that's here. I'm really sad that all the other realtors have missed such a wonderful presentation and the great food that all of us helped prepare. Everyone in this board, on this board and over there, including the inspectors and the ones that work in the office, the people that are on the board, we are all volunteers and we work so hard and we really look forward to this day. I am really saddened that the others were not able to attend. I am asking the ones that are here to please pass out the word, because the office goes through a lot. When homeowners are not told that this is a deed-restricted community, and they come into our office mad with us because they weren't told the right thing, because we're telling them you can't have chickens, you can't have roosters, You can't have garbage around your property. You can't have tractor trailers parked in front of your property. They are highly upset with us. And they have threatened many of the inspectors. They have threatened the office workers. And we don't want to go through that. We want to receive, that's why we give out welcome bags. We want people to feel they are welcome to our community. Our community is beautiful, and we want to maintain it like this. So I appreciate the ones that are here. Thank you. Thank you for coming.